भूतले रामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you so much, Matajis and Prabhujis, for joining today's session. We will discuss the fourth chapter, Transcendental. Somebody has a question? So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll get started with fourth chapter. Before that, we will do a little recap of third chapter. Anybody wants to give it a try for a recap of third chapter? So we discussed about an acronym yesterday, right? Did you remember that acronym, which is called TREE? Please unmute yourself. Anybody wants to give it a try? Sujata Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. So, TREE is Yaga, then regulated activities, basically doing a duty as sacrifice to God. Then E is for exemplary, being a role model. And the last E is for enemy, which is essentially lust.
Awesome. Excellent, Mataji. Hari bol. So anybody else wants to give it a try? It is already on the screen. Hope you are able to see my screen. Can anyone confirm if you are able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Okay. Very good. So we have discussed about the acronym called TREE yesterday. Sujata Mataji explained it very well. Arjuna is confused to renounce the work or to work or renunciation. So he had a confusion, and Krishna clarifies, you do your duty and renounce the results, is what Krishna says. And he also says, don't be attached to the results. And that is called true renunciation. We discussed about true renunciation, false renunciation, Falgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. And regulated activities, Krishna explains the cycle of sacrifice and how everyone have to perform prescribed duties and perform it as a sacrifice. Any work that you do it as an offering to Krishna, then it becomes yajna. So we have discussed how the cycle of sacrifice from Krishna, Vedas come, and from Vedas it is mentioned to do yajnas, and from yajnas rains come, from rains grains come, grains are nourishment for living beings, and living beings offer the grains back to Krishna. So that was the cycle that we have seen. And exemplary behavior, Krishna talked about how to be an example for others. Leaders must act responsibly and setting the right example for others. Even for self-realized souls, continue to work not for themselves but to guide the world, but for others. And then Arjuna asks a question: what is the force that makes a person sinful, even unwillingly? Even that person doesn't want to do it, but something inside forces that person to do such thing. So what is that? Krishna talks about it. He reveals that the greatest enemy for all of us is lust, which covers our knowledge and makes us do sinful karma. He teaches how we must conquer it. We have discussed about battle 1, battle 2, battle 3, etc. In yesterday's session. And it can be done through regulation and also through Krishna consciousness. So overall, chapter 3 teaches how to do your work without being attached to the results, focusing on giving your best without worrying about outcomes. So that was what we have discussed in chapter 3. In chapter 4, Krishna explains the deeper knowledge behind it. So now that we understood, for example, you don't have a knowledge of something, and your parents usually say something, right? For every children, parents say some rituals. So if you don't convince, also you will perform those rituals as a sentiment. How many of you do that?
Yes, Mataji.
We do it, right? So how that is impacting, we don't have that knowledge, we are not convinced, we do it as a ritual, not as a sentiment, and we are not convinced inside, we do it externally, but we don't have that knowledge. So Krishna is explaining that divine knowledge for all of us so that we understand it better and do our work with detachment. So chapter 4 explains that knowledge, which helps us in understanding more in terms of getting that knowledge of how we can do that karma yoga with detachment to the results. So we will discuss about it. So name of the chapter is, so the name of the chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. So we are using the acronym called years. Yesterday's one was tree, and today's acronym is years, which stands for an eternal knowledge, accurate understanding, reaction, akarma, and surrender. These 4 themes summarize the key teachings of this chapter called divine knowledge. So the acronym years reminds us that to truly hear and understand spiritual knowledge, so we must use our spiritual ears, not physical ears, but with humility and devotion. So if you add humility and devotion, it becomes spiritual ears when you are hearing with your physical ears. By receiving this eternal knowledge, we will also develop accurate understanding of that. So with knowledge comes the understanding, right? If you don't have knowledge, we will not be able to understand it well. So acting with awareness. For example, I do karma. I know if it is good karma, I incur good reaction. If I do bad karma, I get bad reaction. At least that understanding will be there. And this knowledge also helps us going little deeper. And ultimately, we understand the purpose of life, which is surrendering to God. So I'm muting everybody. If anybody wants to talk, please raise your hand and unmute. So we move forward on the path of Bhakti Yoga, the ultimate goal of life. After understanding the accurate understanding of this eternal knowledge, and also the understanding and awareness of what is reaction to our action, to whatever karma that we do, that is an action. And you will also be getting a reaction for each of the action. If you do good action, you will get good karma. And if you do bad action, you will get bad karma. So for that, you will have to take the birth again and again to enjoy the good karma and to suffer the bad karma. So now that we'll talk about what is that eternal knowledge. So Krishna talks about the origin of that knowledge. Who has started that knowledge in 4.1 and 4.2. So he talks about the origin and descent of that knowledge. So Lord Krishna says, I have descended this knowledge to Vivashwan, the sun god. So Vivashwan is a sun god, and so the posts that we have, right? Sun, moon, Vayu, all the demigods, those are all posts. Those are not persons, like PM, CM that we have in a constitutional democracy. We have the same, like that we have Viva, sun god, moon god, and Vayu and Varuna, etc. Right? Those are all demigods. They're all posts, and the sun god's name is Vivashwan. The post name is sun god, and the name of the sun god is Vivashwan. So Krishna has told this to Vivashwan, and Vivashwan told this to the ruler of the mankind, Manu, and Manu has told this to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku, you know, right? Lord Ramchandra descended in this dynasty. Lord Ramchandra appeared in this dynasty called Ikshvaku, and most of us know about it. And through that disciplic succession, it is descended. The knowledge, the original knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita was told from Krishna to Vivashwan to Manu to Ikshvaku and down through the disciplic succession. So we will also discuss in detail of what are the disciplic successions and who are the gurus in that disciplic parampara system and all, and who can acquire this knowledge. So Krishna is saying who can acquire this knowledge. Now that he said the origin of knowledge, and now he's saying who can acquire this knowledge. That way, anybody wants to read this? Sneha Mataji, please go ahead.
That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is saying who can acquire this knowledge. So the Krishna tells Arjuna, why is he revealing that knowledge? This eternal knowledge, who can acquire? It's only faithful persons can acquire that knowledge. Not anybody can acquire that knowledge, and it has to be passed in the parampara system, is what Krishna says. From Krishna to Vivashwan, he told the parampara, and now Krishna says he is revealing that confidential knowledge to Arjuna. So he says, Sa evayam maya tedyam yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hiyatiduttamam. So he says that this very ancient science is being told to you because you are my devotee and my friend. He says bhakta, and he told Sakha. So because you are my friend, you are the devotee. That is the most important thing that we need to understand. So this knowledge is not accessible to just anyone. It requires bhakti, devotion. So because Arjuna is a devotee, he is giving that knowledge again to Arjuna. So we all think that Bhagavad Gita is spoken 5,000 years ago in Kurukshetra war. During the battle, Arjuna doesn't want to fight, and Krishna gives that knowledge to Arjuna. But Krishna now is emphasizing that he has given that knowledge to sun god Vivashwan, not only to Arjuna now in this Dwapara Yuga. But he says, long back I have given this knowledge to Vivashwan, but the disciplic succession was broken. Now that I am re-establishing and giving that knowledge to Arjuna again. Through Arjuna, he is giving that knowledge to all of us. So that parampara system is important, and he also says that faith is also very important. Whoever is faithful, whoever is not envious of Krishna, those people can acquire this knowledge. This is not for everybody. Only a devotee, someone who has a personal loving relationship like Arjuna, then they can truly grasp the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So academic learning, scholarship, philosophical speculations, those are not sufficient for understanding this knowledge of God. So this is something that we need to remember. Faith is important for anybody to understand Bhagavad Gita, and bhakti is the essential element to learn spiritual knowledge. So that is something we can understand. And eternal knowledge, from whom should we receive? So Krishna emphasizes the parampara system. From whom we should receive. There is something in Padma Purana that is revealed.
Mataji, we can't see your slides.
Oh, the sharing is gone, is it? Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, Mataji. It is gone again. Okay.
Can you see?
Yes, we can see now.
Okay. So from whom should we receive the eternal knowledge? So there is some shloka in Padma Purana. There is a reference in Padma Purana. Anybody wants to read the English here? This paragraph. You can unmute and read. You don't need to raise a hand. If there are many who is interested, probably we can see that. Bindu Mataji.
Any mantra that does not come in disciplic succession is considered to be fruitless. Therefore, four divine individuals will appear in the age of Kali to find disciplic schools. The founders of these four Vaishnava Sampradayas are Lakshmi, Sri, Brahma, Rudra, and Sanaka Rishi, and the Acharyas of the Kali age who follow their lines will appear in the holy city of Purushottama in Orissa.
So do you know the Purushottama in Orissa? Puri Kshetra in Orissa. You know that, right? Hope you have visited. Some of you might have visited Jagannath Puri. Yeah, that's right. So in this age of Kali, 4 sampradayas are authorized. So this Padma Purana shloka says, this reference is from Padma Purana, as I mentioned. So it says there are 4 different sampradayas in the lineage that are authorized. Like we have CBSE, ICSE, and IB boards, right? SSC board for physical education, for the education for material education for the children. So like that, for spiritual education, we have 4 authorized sampradayas: Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. So Brahma Sampradaya is also known as Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which ISKCON and other organizations follow. And there is something called Rudra Sampradaya and Shri Sampradaya. You all know about Chinnajiyar Swami, right? They follow Shri Sampradaya. And Kumara Sampradaya, which is also called Nimbarka Sampradaya. These are the authorized 4 sampradayas that we have. And the reference is Padma Purana. You can also refer going to Padma Purana, the same shloka. So which talks about there are only 4 sampradayas in the age of Kali that anybody can follow. So true spiritual knowledge must be received from a qualified spiritual master in parampara system, not from anyone or any guru who is not coming from the sampradaya, or you cannot get it by self study also. So it says you have to get this through the parampara only, and these are the only 4 authorized sampradayas. So where you are learning from this, so you have to learn from where you are learning from. At least for Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are learning from here. So A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is our founder Acharya of ISKCON, and his guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and his guru is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and his guru is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And if you trace back, it should be Krishna. Right? The origin is Krishna, and from your guru, if you have to trace back, it has to go until Krishna. So then that is an authorized sampradaya. So from Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Madhva, Madhva to Padmanabha, Narahari, Madhava, etc. And until A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So this is the sampradaya. So we are learning from this sampradaya, and it is authorized because it is coming from Krishna. And all the 4 sampradayas, if you trace back, it is all coming from Krishna. That is what we have to understand from this parampara system, and we have to learn. But why we need parampara? So why do we need parampara is, you may wonder why this system is so important for us. There are 5 powerful reasons that are mentioned here. One is preservation of teachings. So preservation of pickles happen with salt and oil, right? We also put it in a ceramic jars. But preservation of teachings happen by propagation, by spreading the knowledge in a parampara system. Parampara protects the original message, like a sealed envelope from Krishna. So there is a sealed envelope and it is coming from Krishna, and there is no modifications to be done to that knowledge, and it is given as it is to the disciplic succession. So that is one advantage. Another advantage is the purpose and mood are also preserved. The intent and mood should be bhakti. So that bhakti will be there only with the spiritual masters who have taken a spiritual initiation from their gurus, and they have learned from them as it is coming from Krishna, the knowledge. So that is the purpose and mood has to be preserved as well. So preservation of teachings and preservation of mood are important. And there is no personal motivated interpretations. So without parampara, people twist Gita. So nowadays you may see a lot of gurus, false gurus, they change the Gita also. They change as per the audience. They change the agendas as per the audience. They change the teachings as per the audience to gain some material benefits. So that is not a parampara system. That's why we need to go through the parampara system, because there are no personally motivated interpretations. They don't want money. They're pure bhaktas and they want to propagate only bhakti. And it is also the 4th one is a transparency. So our spiritual master acts as a media, and he gives the transparent message from the God without adding anything, without subtracting anything, or without modifying anything. The message and the knowledge comes as it is from from Krishna until your guru, and your guru will also teach the same. And you will also learn, follow, and teach principle will be applied as well. The emphasis here is on Shravanam, hearing, and Kirtanam, repeating, and Acharya. Acharya means you have to implement the knowledge that you have learned. So you have to hear the knowledge, you have to repeat, and you also have to implement. You live the knowledge, learning, practicing, and then teaching without any change. So that happens only in the parampara system, that we have to understand. So that's the reason why we need parampara system. So, but what is this knowledge all about? So now we are saying we have to learn from here. This is eternal knowledge, and it is coming from Krishna, and we have to learn in the parampara and disciplic succession. But what is this knowledge about? So now that we have understood the importance of receiving knowledge through parampara, let us understand what is this knowledge actually is. This knowledge is, as revealed by Krishna himself in the Bhagavadgita, covers three essential aspects of actually the spiritual realization, the bhakti part of it. About the self, yesterday we discussed about who am I, right? Who am I is, we are not these bodies, we are souls, we are eternal souls, we are Satchit Ananda. Sat is eternity, it's permanent, and Chit is knowledge, and bliss, Ananda is bliss. The material body is temporary, but the soul is eternal and it never dies. Yesterday we have also discussed about one shloka. I don't know if we have discussed or not, but 2.20, it says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachin, nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuyaha, ajo nitya shashvato ayam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So this shloka describes exactly about our soul. So it says the soul is neither born, and it also doesn't die. The soul is without birth, and it is eternal, it is immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. So that is a description of the soul. When body destroys, the soul is not destroyed, because it is Satchit Ananda. It is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And it also talks about, this knowledge also talks about who is Supreme Lord and his opulence. For example, if you have to love somebody, you should have knowledge about that person, or by seeing that person, you will start loving. You should know about that person, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah. So if you say that I love Krishna and you don't know about Krishna, then will you be able to love Krishna? And will you be able to perform bhakti?
No, it's
No, right?
different.
It's difficult. So about the Supreme Lord and his opulence, the knowledge is about Supreme Lord. Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is Bhagavan. In the first session also we discussed. Bhagavan means, Bhaga is opulences. Bhagavan is who is possessing those opulences. Shaktivan is who has that Shakti, and Bhagavan is who has all the opulences like wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. All six opulences full, completely and eternally. Somebody may be claiming in the material world they are rich, but there may be more richer person in different universe than Earth. But that person may not be having strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, only wealth they may have, but only limited to that universe. And it is also temporary. But eternally and completely, all these six opulences only Krishna will have. And this knowledge will also be there. And Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. He says, I am the origin of all creations, and everything proceeds from me only. And an intelligent person who knows about this perfectly, they start worship me with great faith and devotion, because that knowledge they are possessing will lead them to understand Krishna and perform devotional service unto Krishna. And it also says about the knowledge also has talks about our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So we are not independent. We are all eternal servitors of Krishna. Jivera Swarup Hoi Krishnera Nityadas. It is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This relationship is one of love and devotion, not fear. So somebody is God-fearing people. They go to temple because they fear God. So, but our relationship, but our constitutional original relationship with Krishna is love and devotion. By reviving this lost relationship through Bhakti Yoga, we return to our original joyful state and we go to Vaikuntha. So that is the purpose of life. Now that we wanted to do Bhakti, when we want to do Bhakti, we need to know, understand who is God and what is He, and what are his opulences and what are his pastimes, etc. Then we will develop that lost relationship. Initially, we were all with Krishna and we were envious of him and we came back to material world. And now that we wanted to, we were given an opportunity to revive that knowledge, revive that love towards Krishna, and go back to him and enjoy with him in the eternal planets like Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavana. So in essence, right, Gita teaches who am I, who is God, and what is my eternal relationship with God. So this is eternal knowledge, divine knowledge, and also called as transcendental knowledge. And this understanding is the foundation of our spiritual life. But what is the difference between Krishna and us? So the understanding is also important. So now that we are saying Krishna is Sachidananda, we are also Sachidananda. Krishna, we are souls and Krishna is super soul. But what exactly is the difference? And Krishna makes it clear in 4.5 and 4.6 verses. Krishna says, many births, Arjuna, you and I have passed. You don't remember them, but I remember them all. Because he's the creator, he's the maintainer, he's the destroyer. We are parts and parcels of Krishna. We will not be remembering. As soon as we change our bodies, we will not remember what happened in the past life. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna remembers everything, all the births. Because Krishna is saying this because Arjuna asked a question. So now that Krishna, you are saying, you know, Vivashwan, and Vivashwan is a sun god who was there for a long time, and you are my friend and you are of my own age, and how can you claim that you have told this knowledge to Vivashwan? Then Krishna answers this shloka, many births you and I have passed. But Krishna doesn't take normal material birth like us. We will talk in the further shlokas. But to answer Arjuna's question, Krishna mentions that you and I have taken many births, but you don't remember all of them, but I remember all of them. So he was also there because usually Arjuna also will appear along with Krishna. He is a personal associate of Krishna. Like CM and PM, whoever comes to any visits any state, right? They also take their associates along. Like that Krishna, when he descends to earth, he also takes his personal associates who are from his own eternal planet called Goloka Vrindavana. So Arjuna is from there and he also appears along with Krishna, but he doesn't remember that Krishna has told this spiritual science to sun god Vivashwan. So this shows the divine nature of Krishna. Although both he and we appear in the world, Krishna is Aja, unborn, and he's also Avyayatma, imperishable. He will not be destroyed, and he appears with his spiritual body. He doesn't appear with the material body like us. Um, but he also comes on his own sweet will, not by force of karma. Like for us it is. We appear by the force of karma. We do some activities and we incur some bad karma and also good karma. In order to suffer the bad karma and enjoy the good karma, we take birth again and again. But Krishna is like not like that. That is also a difference. And his activities are also divine, is what Krishna says in 4.7 and 4.8. He says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham prunarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. So Krishna says, my janma and karma, my birth and my activities are also divine. So whoever knows this, evam yo veti tatvatah, whoever knows this, tatvatah means truth. Whoever knows this, tyaktva deham punarjanma, then if they have that understanding, then they will not take birth again and they will reach eternal planets with Krishna. So that's what Krishna says. So his activities are not ordinary, they are divine, they are divyam. And also karma is also divyam, janma is also divyam, which he doesn't take material body like us. So we need to understand that. And what is the result of understanding his activities and his janma? You will not take birth again in this material world. You will be reaching to the eternal world along with Sri Krishna. So in summary, Krishna is God. We are his parts and parcels, and he appears for our benefit, not due to karma. And we will also discuss in future shlokas why does he appear. By hearing about his divine activities and understanding them properly, we become qualified to return to him. So what is the qualification? For example, if you are applying for a US visa, so there should be some qualification to apply for visa, right? You also should clear certain exams and you should be qualified with your age or with your skill set or with your skill set and everything. And you will also be working on how can you be accommodated with the weather and atmosphere there. How can you be how can you get your jackets, or based upon the temperature there, we will carry all the required things along with you. That is the preparation to go to a different country in a material world. But if you have to travel from material world to spiritual world, you should also be eligible, right? Like that, you need to have that skills, you need to be having that mentality which is suitable in that planet. For that, you need to do bhakti, because in spiritual planets, bhakti is the only thing that happens. And if you do not know bhakti, and you will not be able to cope up well in spiritual planets. For that reason, we need to be equipping ourselves with bhakti, understand Krishna, so that we can go there and enjoy with him. Like we go to US and we learn that language, we learn how to live there, and we acquire skills based upon the need, etc. We'll also be doing bhakti in order to get eligibility to enter into the spiritual planets. So we will see what is the difference between Krishna and living entity in detail. So Krishna is eternal and remembers everything, and is called as Achyuta. And living entity is eternal but forgets past lives. Soul is eternal, right? Body is not eternal, but soul is eternal, but forgets past lives. We don't remember everything. Krishna remembers everything. Krishna appears by his own will. He is Atma Maya. Living entity is forced to appear by karma. Based upon the activities that we perform, we incur reactions. Based on the reactions, we are forced to take the birth. That is called Mahamaya. And Krishna appears in spiritual body. His spiritual body is Sachitananda. And living entities appear in material body. They are called Asat. Asat is temporary. Achit is not knowledgeable. Nirananda is not happy, not blissful. In material world, nobody is happy. Everybody has something or the other miseries, something or the other sufferings. So not everybody, anybody is not happy in material world. It is all Nirananda, Asat, and Achit. And Krishna's body and self are non-different. He's Advaita. The soul acquires an external body, gross and subtle. We are different from our body, and we have gross body, we have subtle body. Gross body is what we see externally. Subtle bodies we cannot see, but we feel. Mind, intelligence, ego are the subtle elements of the gross body. And Krishna remembers all births. He's Avyayam, and we forget because as soon as the body changes, we forget everything what's going on, what happened in the previous life. Sometimes we don't remember what happened in this life also. That is different thing. That's the difference between Krishna and us. And Krishna, why does he appear? The reason for his appearance. So we see the differences between Krishna and us, and we will also see there are two famous and important verses in fourth chapter, 4.7 and 4.8. Anybody knows 4.7? So you might have heard several times in local temples or anywhere, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Did you hear this shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Very famous, right? Everybody, whoever has taken birth in India, at least, they all will be hearing this from somewhere or the other. So whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, then Krishna descends to earth. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So descendant of Bharata, he's calling Arjuna as descendant of Bharata. He's from Bharata dynasty. So he's calling Arjuna and saying, whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice and a predominant rise in irreligion, adharma increases and dharma decreases, at that time he appears on the earth, is what he says in 4.7. And that is one reason. And another reason is, this is also a famous shloka, 4.8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So this is also a famous shloka you might have heard several times. So he says paritranaya sadhunam. So paritranaya is he protects the devotees. He protects the right people. and he also vinashaya chadushkritam, to annihilate or punish the demoniac people, bad people. So to protect the right people, to punish the bad people. For example, you have two children, and one of them is very good, and another person is another child is not doing all good things. So what do? You punish that bad child and try to put that child also in the right path. Do you do that or not?
Yes, Mata.
Okay. We do that, right? So the same way, bad people, good people are all amshas of Krishna. But why does he punish the bad people? For their good only. So we need to understand that Krishna is not partial. Krishna is equal to everybody, because all of the living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. So Krishna comes to eliminate those who cause suffering to others and challenge dharma, and they create they create problems with saintly people, right people. Then Krishna descends to earth, and he punishes that, kills the demoniac people, and saves the devotees who are on the right path. Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsala, right? He's always eager to protect and uplift his sincere devotees. For example, if you take a teacher student example, so all the students in a class are paying the same amount of fees, and teacher should be equal to everybody. But there is a student who sincerely works and asks questions towards the end of this class, and the student goes to teacher, and he asks certain questions and clarifies the doubts, and teacher spends additional time with him. Does it mean teacher is partial?
No, no, Mataji.
No, right? So the same way, Krishna is not partial to his devotees, but he reciprocates the way that we reciprocate, we approach him. So that's what he says. Like teacher also is doing teacher's duty. It's not partiality. She's spending more time with clarifying questions from the students who are sincere. That way, who are sincere bhaktas, for them, Krishna descends on earth to protect those devotees. So that is the reciprocation of Krishna. And the third reason is to re-establish dharma. So one is to protect the bhaktas or the righteous people, and second one is to punish the bad people, and third one is to re-establish the dharma. He told in the previous verse that whenever irreligion rises and the dharma reduces, then I appear on the earth, is what he mentioned. So that's why for these three reasons he appears on the earth. So Krishna's appearance is not under the laws of karma, as we already discussed. He descends on his own will, that we need to be very clear about, and we need to be having it in mind every time. And even when he appears to take birth or act within material nature, his actions are completely transcendental. That's what he mentioned in the previous verses also. Janma karma cha me divya. That also we need to remember all the time. So his mission is always to reconnect the living entities to their eternal service to him. So he always wants to reclaim us. He always wants us to come back home, like a son who has grown up and he doesn't want to live with his father, and he goes away and he starts a new family, right? And the father is always willing to claim that son. He always feels happy, and he always welcomes that son to his home. The same way, Krishna also is trying to reclaim all of us to the eternal abode, Vaikuntha. So Krishna descends whenever needed, not just once, millennium after millennium, yuge yuge. So dharma samsthapanardhaya yuge yuge. So he appears millennium after millennium. Every yuga he appears to re-establish the dharma, to protect the right people, to punish the wrong people. And so what is the result of knowing this knowledge that we already discussed, right? And what is accurate understanding? This is one of the things that we have in the topics also. What is accurate understanding? Any guesses? Okay, knowledge removes three major misconceptions. So we need to understand the knowledge accurately in the disciplic succession without any modifications, as Krishna told, is what we discussed so far. But what happens if you have the accurate understanding is what is explained in this shlokas. The first one is all paths lead to same destination. So that is one misconception, misunderstanding that usually people have. Many people claim that whatever path you follow, be it worship of demigods, be it impersonalism, some people think that there is no God, there is only some effulgence, you all merge into that effulgence at the end. And some people think that there's nothing shunya, you will merge into shunya after your death. So these are all misconceptions, misunderstandings. That is not accurate understanding. So all they think that all ultimately reach the same goal, but it is not true. But Krishna clarifies in 4.11, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So whoever approaches me with their mood, I reciprocate the same way, is what Krishna says. Krishna reciprocates personally according to their approach. Not all paths lead to Krishna. That is a misunderstanding. Only the path of pure devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, leads one to his eternal abode. That is the eligibility that we discussed with an example of somebody going to US, how they prepare themselves to go to the US. So Bhakti is the only path for the preparation to go to enter into the spiritual world. So worship of demigods, like doing karma kanda. Some people do all philanthropic activities, like they do, they create or they donate to orphanages, and they build so many old age homes, etc. But that is called karma kanda, what is told in the scriptures. And some people do impersonal meditation. They meditate on void, and that also give only temporary results. But the results will be given, but those are all temporary. Only permanent result is only through bhakti. And so we need to have that accurate understanding of knowing Krishna is the supreme destination. Paramam Purusham Divyam. There's also, we will get to know in future chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So we need to have that accurate understanding so that we will not be having these misconceptions of, there's one other system, the misconception is the caste system. Many people say that, criticize that Varnashrama system. Krishna said, Chaturvarnyam Maya system Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. So Krishna said, I created in 4.13. Krishna says, I created this Chaturvarnya. Chaturvarnya, you know, right? Anybody knows Chaturvarnya?
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
What are
Mataji.
they?
Varnas means Brahmana,
Yeah,
Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra.
absolutely. Hari Bol Mataji. So there are 4 varnas created by Krishna himself. But why did he create that varnas? Based on guna and karma, not based on the birth. So he says, I created the 4 divisions of human society based on qualities and work, guna and karma, not by birth. What does it mean? The original system is not hereditary. So, for example, if you take birth in Kshatriya family, it need not be that you have Kshatriya qualities and by birth you are born, but that creates an environment, that is for sure. But you don't have that qualities as a Kshatriya. For example, if you take Duryodhana, he is not a complete Kshatriya because he is not able to take care of the citizens very well. And if you take Dronacharya's son Ashwatthama, Dronacharya is a pure Brahmana. And Ashwatthama is not called as a Brahmana. If you refer Bhagavatam, when his story comes, he is referred as Brahma Bandhu. He is a relative of Brahmana, but not a Brahmana because his qualities are not Brahmanical. So based on qualities and activities that you perform, you will be called as Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. And this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra roles are designed for the smooth functioning of the society, not for exploitation. And it is also not hereditary. There are people who are Brahmanas became Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas became Brahmanas in the past also. So it is not hereditary. It is completely based on natural qualities and activities. Due to the misuse and lack of understanding, lack of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, the system has been degenerated. That is a different story. And Srila Prabhupada also emphasized that anyone can become a Brahmana by developing spiritual qualities, not by birth alone. In Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya also, there will be initiation. After that 1 year, you will be eligible for Brahmana initiation as well. And everybody will become Brahmanas based on the spiritual qualities and activities that they perform. So we should not be having that misconception of that caste system is unfair and Krishna has created this, etc., etc. We don't need to think about that in such a way. And renunciation means inactivity or abandoning work, that we have already discussed, right? That is also another misconception. So renunciation means you should not be doing any activities, and you should be stopping all your activities and go to a secluded place and start meditating, etc. That was already ruled out by Krishna in the previous chapter. And we will see so these are the different paths of different destinations. For example, karmis get material desires fulfilled. Karmis are they do all the karma kanda sections of the scriptures. Whatever is mentioned, they do all the rituals, and those are all good things only. They get material benefits out of it, but they are temporary. For example, if I have done a lot of pious activities and I have reached heaven, and that is also temporary. As soon as your account balance is completed, you will have to fall down again. And Gnanis attains Brahman. The Gnanis are, they meditate on Brahman realization, which is the effulgence. So Krishna has a bodily effulgence around him. So some people think that that bodily effulgence is what we need to attain. They don't believe in Krishna's personal form. They don't see that because they stop that, and they stop on the Brahman realization itself. They stop seeing, going inside after the effulgence. So they think that that is it, and they wanted to merge into that Brahman. Those are called Gnanis. And yogis get mystic powers. Yogis, they wanted to attain mystic powers. They wanted to become very big and very small, and they can travel anywhere without any vehicle, etc. So those kind of mystic powers they wanted to attain. They approach Krishna in that way, and Krishna also reciprocates based upon how they approach. And devotees live with the Lord and serve him happily. And that's the reason why they go to Goloka, Vrindavan and Vaikuntha planets and live happily with the Lord. And it is all based upon your desire, and it is all based upon on how you approach God. So you approach a demigod, and without Krishna's sanction, he also cannot give you any benedictions to you. That we need to remember. We talked about Varnashrama system already, and we will discuss about reactionless work. Yesterday we discussed about karma, akarma, vikarma. Anyone remembers that? List karma. You remember?
Karma is for material desires and seeking results, and sakarma is only for the Krishna Prithiyardham. They will do all karmas, and akarma is actually with some fruitful desires, and for Krishna Prithiyardham they will do karmas. I hope so. Karma is for karma is in highest level of doing karma by the devotees in ISKCON.
There are few modifications, Mataji, but you are almost there. We will discuss in detail. Somebody wants to read this? 4.16.
Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. 4.16.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Krishna says in 4.16, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayo api atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yagnatva mokshase shubhat. So Krishna says there are intelligent people, they also get bewildered. They also get confused of what is action, what is inaction. So Krishna says, I'll explain it to you what action is, what inaction is, and you will be liberated if you understand it completely. So when you say, when Krishna says if you know my Janma karma, you will be liberated. And if you know this, you will be liberated. So knowing is not just knowing. So you need to have an implementation knowledge. For example, you will not be putting your hand in fire because you have that understanding. It will be burnt. And that kind of understanding you should have when Krishna says, if you understand this, then you should not be thinking, okay, now I understand this, I'll be liberated. So it's not like that. Understanding at that level is not sufficient. We need to have that understanding at implementation level, practical level, you need to understand. So then the result will happen the same way as Krishna told. So before going into akarma is, so karma, vikarma, akarma, there are three things, right? Karma is any action, any pious action. Pious action like feeding people who are in need, or creating orphanages, or distributing food for needy people, or creating shelter for needy people, or giving education for needy people, etc. Any pious activity is karma according to the scriptures. And when you do this good karma, you will get good results, you will gain good reaction, and that good reaction you will enjoy, but that is temporary. And we'll see what is vikarma. Vikarma is impious or sinful activities, killing somebody, and stealing something, or hurting somebody, etc. Right? So anything which is against the Vedic injunctions is vikarma, and you will also be incurring sinful reactions. So for good karma, you'll get good reaction. Bad karma, you'll get bad reaction. For good karma, you'll enjoy temporarily. For bad karma also, you will suffer temporarily. So that is karma and vikarma. You understand clearly, right? Karma and vikarma. Karma is good things. Vikarma is bad things. And now we will see what is akarma. So there are two meanings for akarma. Akarma is not doing anything at all. Karma, opposite of karma is akarma, but that is a different, in a different context. But in this context, akarma is doing reactionless work. Whatever you do it with detachment. You do it as a devotional offering to Krishna. Then the reaction, either it is good or bad, it will not be in your account. It will be taken care by Krishna. For example, if you do devotional activities or anything you do to please Krishna, and there is no personal gain or personal motive or selfish motive there, then it is called akarma. Because you are doing karma, but you are not getting any reactions. It is as good as not doing karma. So what is the result? The result is you will enjoy eternal transcendental happiness. If you do good karma, then as per the injunctions, the happiness that you get is temporary. But if you do akarma with devotional, the bhakti in place and Krishna in the center, you will get eternal enjoyment. You will not be taking birth again. You will reach Goloka or Vaikuntha planets. So that is the difference we'll see in this table. So akarma, it is just a summary of what we have discussed so far. Akarma is all acts done for Krishna, and there is no desire for sense gratification. That is the attitude. The result is you will enjoy transcendental happiness, and this is transcendental happiness is eternal, and it is not temporary. And karma is working with attachment. So you work as per the scriptural injunctions mentioned in the Vedas. You do all good activities, but you are attached with the results, and you want to gain certain benefit out of it. I want to attain heaven, so I will do only pious activities in this life, so that I'll go to heaven and enjoy. So that will be the motive. But according to the Shastras, attitude is according to the Shastras, and the reaction is good reaction, but it is temporary. And vikarma is working with it. Karma is also working with attachment. You do good activity, bad activity, you do with attachment. Then karma is also with attachment. Vikarma is also with attachment. But this is not according to the Shastras. It is against the Vedic injunctions. All bad activities against Vedic injunctions, that incurs bad reactions. You'll have to suffer, but that also is temporary. So now that we have come to the last section of surrenderance. So how do you surrender? Now that we understand what is akarma, vikarma, and karma, and we will see what is the last section talking about. There are three. How do you surrender? There is a shloka. Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Somebody wants to read the translation.
Go, Mataji.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji.
Just try to learn the truth, reaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Krishna teaches an important principle here for spiritual advancement. If you have to advance spiritually, the principle is surrendering to a spiritual master. And if you surrender to a spiritual master, how should the surrender be? He is saying Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. There are three things that Krishna is saying. The three qualities are pranipata, humble submission. So you should approach the Guru without pride, knowing that this divine knowledge is not available through logic or debate or challenging spirit, but through faithful inquiry. So you have to be very humble when you approach a spiritual master. And we also know how do we select a spiritual master, right? They should be in a parampara system and disciplic succession, and they should not have any selfish motives, etc. We have already discussed, right? So if when you approach a guru, how will you surrender to get that knowledge? The first thing is humble submissiveness. Should not be debating with logic or challenging spirit. Some people think that, okay, this Mataji or this Prabhuji are saying this, but let me ask this question. They do not know it. In a challenging spirit, if you ask a question to understand your or clarify your doubt, that is very, very good. That is what Krishna suggests here. But if you want to challenge that person and knowingly you want to put certain question that your mind, your intention is he or she should not answer that question, that's a challenging spirit. So we should not be going in that mode with the spiritual master. And pariprashnena. Pariprashnena is sincere submissive questioning. So you should approach a spiritual master with submissiveness, without debating or challenging. You should be going with a faithful inquiry, and then asking not to challenge but to understand. So that is pariprashnena should be. It should not be in a challenging mode. It should be in a understanding mode. You wanted to. You are eager to hear and genuine thirst for spiritual knowledge. That should be the mood of the pariprashna. And seva, then you have to render service. Serving the spiritual master with devotion is the essence of learning. So whatever learning that we have, we should also be serving our spiritual master, that too with devotion and faith. This service purifies the heart and it pleases the Lord. So there are two advantages. It purifies and it also pleases the Lord. So that's the reason you have to do service to spiritual master. You have to ask right questions, and you also need to be submissive. Pariprashnena, pranipata, seva. These three things we need to remember. These are the three qualities for a proper disciple. But who is a bona fide guru? So according to Srila Prabhupada, bona fide guru is a pure devotee of Krishna, should be a pure devotee of Krishna, and should be part of an authentic disciple succession, like parampara system we discussed. And he must teach strictly according to the scriptures. So anything that he teaches, right? For example, we have taken Padma Purana example in the beginning. What are the sampradayas and all? So everything should be based on the scripture. It should not be coming from his personal mind or personal concoction, etc. It should not be a personal opinion also. Everything should strictly come from the shastras only, from the scriptures. And he should also be a realized tattvadarshi. Jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Because you are approaching a spiritual master, that means he has already seen that knowledge. He's already seen that tattvadarshina. He's seen that truth. Because he's seen the truth, he became a gnani, and he is making you see the truth, so that you will also become a gnani and you will also become a spiritual master in future. So that should be the bona fide guru. And what are the results of surrendering a guru? So now that Krishna is saying, surrender the guru with pranipata, pariprashnena, and sevaya, three things. And who should be the bona fide guru also he mentioned. And what is the result of surrendering a guru is what Krishna explains. When you surrender to a guru, you will gain real knowledge, because he is already a gnani. He will give that knowledge to you, and you will be freed from the illusions and misconceptions. There are so many misconceptions and illusions that we have. All of them will be freed, and you will progress quickly in your spiritual path, and you will also be connecting to Krishna through Guru's mercy. And when everything else happens, then you will be liberated from all karma and attain Krishna prema. So that is the ultimate goal of surrendering to a guru. So he will never fall into illusion. So Krishna is also glorifying the knowledge from Guru. When you gain the knowledge in 4.35, Krishna says you will never fall again into illusion, because we have a lot of illusions and we have fallen down, and you will never fall when you approach a Guru. And you will also cross the ocean of miseries. And this knowledge helps as a boat for us. So if you have that knowledge, you have a boat to cross over the ocean of miseries, because material world is full of miseries. And if you have to cross over all the miseries and reach the spiritual world, you need to have that knowledge. That knowledge is this divine knowledge that we are discussing today. And it also destroys all sinful reactions. Now that we understand that bhakti is the only path for us, and bhakti is our constitutional position, is to do devotional service to Lord Krishna. Now we have that knowledge, but we might have done several sinful activities in the past. And what about those reactions of these sinful activities? When you have this knowledge and you are doing service to Guru and you are doing devotional service, Krishna says all that you have done in the past, all sinful reactions will be destroyed with the knowledge that you are gaining from Guru. So those are the advantages of Guru. And who can and who cannot achieve? So who can achieve this knowledge? Who are faithful, who are dedicated, and who also has sense regulation. So this is described in 4.39. Krishna says the people who are not faithful, who doesn't believe in God, and who has doubts. Even after reading Bhagavad Gita, there are several doubts from many of the people. They don't believe Krishna is there, and why is he so great? And there are so many doubts. They're ignorant. They are faithless. They don't have faith. Those people will not be getting this knowledge. The knowledge will not be achieved by this kind of people that is described in 4.40. And whoever is faithful, whoever is dedicated, whoever has sense regulation, they will achieve this knowledge. So this ends the fourth chapter, transcendental knowledge. And we have discussed four things. What is eternal knowledge, and what is accurate understanding? What is reaction, a karma, and how can we understand that when we do karma, how will we be able to do activities based upon our understanding? And surrenderance to Guru. And why do we surrender? What are the results of surrenderance, and how do we surrender? Everything we discussed. This ends the fourth chapter. You have any questions? Please raise your hands. No questions? Any comments? If no questions, maybe you can tell what you have learned in 1 or 2 sentences. We'll quickly close. I'll not take much time. Maybe you can just say 1 or 2 sentences of what you have learned, or if you have any questions also, you can. All right.
We
If no
believe
question,
God will get all avatars when to do Uddaram, Dushta Sikshana, Sishta Rakshana. For that, wherever needs, whenever needs, God will appear. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. And then transcendental knowledge only through the bona fide spiritual master, and about varnashramas, about karma, akarma, and vikarmas, and how to surrender to the spiritual master. These are
Haribol,
all the things.
very nice. Very nice. You have explained it very well. Haribol.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to give a try? All right, if no one, well, we will close the session. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Nantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavadgita ki jai.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji, for your nice explanation.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.